Wow,
Well,
long day.
let's do this then. Welcome everyone to the Div 8D Week 12 recap. So, probably the last week of recapping, considering next week will already be playoffs. So it's unlikely I'll have time to recap. We have lots of matches. But let's get right in. Oh, vikingkop is here.
Hello, guys. Good evening.
And he's also the reason we are not doing Div 1, Div 2 recaps. If you're a random boy
Boo,
and in this chat,
boo, boo.
sucks to be you.
Oh, cool.
Well, do you want? Well, let's go to the leaderboard first. So, as we can see, Toastguy won against Pete, and that pretty much puts him at top of the leaderboard by 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But I've checked Rebel.net before, and the TV, like the touchdown differential, is really close. So, if Toastguy loses the next match and Pete wins his match, most likely Pete will be the one to qualify. So Toastguy needs to not lose this match. But if he doesn't lose it, he's ahead by enough points to just win.
Yes, they are really close. 1-1 is only one win away. The TD differential is as you said. I think that if Toast loses 1-0 and Pete wins by two touchdowns or more, then he will be in or something like that. So it's there's still a fight in there. But the games at the top of the Swiss are going to be hard for both of these coaches.
Yeah, a lot like because the Swiss is now at the last round. Like the better coaches with the better teams are at the top now, so you get the harder matchups. It's not like
Yeah,
week
but that
one
that
when
that,
you can
that is
get the
not
ogre.
true because I'm not in the top of this. I mean, this classification. I mean, one of the best coaches with the best team by far. Come on.
Everyone in chat, press X in doubt for Vikingo being a good coach with a good team.
X.
X
Yes.
for now. Vikingo doubts himself. Fair enough. Yeah, as I said, random boy, because Viking Hop was busy with his wife because of his wedding anniversary that he told me about 10 minutes before we were supposed to do the recap.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person. Sorry.
He probably
I,
also
f- I
forgot about it for his wife, so I can understand why she was mad.
I refuse to comment.
I mean, he didn't say I was wrong.
Oh my god.
So yeah, no, I didn't have
Hey.
a co-caster, and I tried to find one, but it was tough to do it in a rush. So
Ah yeah.
no recap. Feels bad, man.
Guy, yeah, yeah. Um, can't be helped. So, good evening, Tulu.
Yeah, Cthulhu Collector is here as well.
Hi.
So yeah, let's go over the matches. First up, the big one, 2-1 for Toastguy. A lot of removals that game for Toastguy. 6 removals is quite a bit. Like 15
Mm.
armor breaks is really
Mm.
strong.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure
A
there
lot of
was
chaos,
fouling.
only one injury, possibly some fouling
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, you see like 3 casualty in total actually. Some of it
Ooh,
possibly by fouling.
yes. Good fouling game.
No, bad MVP for Toastguy. But still a massive result for Toastguy
Hmm.
because this is like the most important match left. He just needs to draw the last one and he is in the playoffs.
Mhm. Indeed. Again,
Yeah, it's been a while.
this team has already been in playoffs, but they were looking, say, healthier or at
Yeah.
least alive last
Yeah,
time.
it was quite a while ago as well, I believe. At least like 3 seasons
Uh,
ago.
it was season
Season
six.
6? Yeah, season 6 he made.
Yes,
Either
season
6 or 5 he made playoffs.
six.
You sure?
Six when he made it with Sage, myself, and who was the
I
other? I
believe he
don't
made it before that
remember.
as well once, so like season 4 possibly.
Possibly
Or
two,
season
possibly
3
two.
as well. I don't know, I don't remember such long time ago.
Let's have a look at his team. What's
Yes.
what's he bringing to the
Ooh,
pitch?
ooh. Yeah, that's actually the most important thing for this team. Although is like this team is really good, but it's not playoffs good. Cause like
Well, it's handed, but he has three dirty players. I like this.
yeah, but like is it playoffs good? Can he beat a Div 1 team?
Well, he's those guy, eh?
He is, but the Div 1 coach can be someone good like Sage, and Sage is Sage.
Yeah, but Sage has half a team, and Toast is Toast, and I've seen Toast beating Sage in the past.
But I've
So
seen Sage beating Toast in the past.
yeah, well, I've been meaning that everything can happen.
I mean, this is Blood Bowl. Everything can happen. Could be turn one pitch invasion. One side is completely stunned. That's a thing.
Well, just bear in mind that this is a one season development undead team. Um, undead is a team that excels at low TVs, in my opinion. It's really strong when you're speaking about 1000 TB or like below 1500 TV. It's super powerful because the basic skills they need is what they is simply they make them work. Now everything that they get is kind of bloaty. They have how many ghouls? Two of them, three
Uh,
ghouls. They
Three.
are all bloods or rods or whatever. He has a nice ball carrier, but he has nothing truly special beyond the fact that he has good mummies.
Yeah.
The mummies are really good. One is bloods and the other is block, what is very, very nice. He has a decent killer, standard, but good still. He has a single guarder that is not enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not even letting you say that.
Yeah, like the big issue for most season one teams is like after one season he has two tackle, which is definitely not enough to deal with like a
hmm
developed elf team. Like if
Uh,
you
mm, Russell, dirty player.
he only has one wrestle tackle and one tackle. A really like a super annoying Skaven that never dies, or like an elf team when everyone is blodged, and we do have some of those at the really top. Like at the first two divisions, at least we have a few very elfy elf teams. Those are really tough to beat because they have the elf nonsense, and you don't have the tools like other. You don't have the tackle to like mass counter them. And if you play a bash team, like sure you have mummies, but they have seven guard and you have one. So good luck getting blocks.
Yeah, I'll say you something. I've played my last two games in Gman against elves, so against the Chaco Alliance, high elves with dodge everywhere and bloods everywhere, against also pits, dark elves. And in two games, old Chloe McClaw has gotten six casualties. He has been killing elves left, right, and center because you only need to roll
Yeah, but like
house.
you cannot say like in playoffs, oh we'll just get lucky for 6 games in a row
Hey,
to
come
win the
on! You're not
playoffs.
going. If you don't have luck, you're not winning the playoffs. I
That
mean,
that's
nobody is
that's
winning this
true.
just by sheer strategy and sheer skill. They need luck.
That's true, but like he needs so much luck to beat a very nonsense elf team or a very strength heavy bash team that like I'll be surprised if he like beats the first round. We have some very nasty teams in Rel and Big O that he's very likely to play.
Requesting permission to use funny voice.
Sure.
I remember of the time when some vampires reached the quarterfinals of the playoffs by sheer luck.
Yeah, and that guy is just a lacquer noob, and we all know that. And he's not like, and in the end, he just like faced someone who was luckier and lost.
Random dice checker. Yes.
It's
Check, check,
just,
check, 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 check.
but yeah, like this is very
uh,
likely the playoff team of this division. The other option is
yeah.
of course
Well,
PT.
well, they would make they would do good in Division Four, for example, let's say,
Yeah,
and Pitt's team, but Pitt's team has
Pit's
been
team.
suffering a little bit.
It's
I think I
still
killed a
it's
player.
still strong, but like Pit's team still suffers the same issue because if you look at like an elf team that it's had more time to develop, they just have everything that Pit has and like more nonsense usually.
I mean, it's
So
one season development team. I
yep,
mean, you cannot ask this to be, I know, the Black Pyramid of last season, for example, which were nonsense,
and
absolute
the end
bullshit.
completely died. Don't forget the
Yeah,
part where they
they
completely
died like
died.
three. They died like three times during 3 seasons in Gman One. That was hilarious.
That was quite funny, I have to say.
Bad luck for me that I always met them in the best peak of effectivity.
Feels bad.
Ah, but it was fun.
But yeah, it's between Pete and Toast, and Toast is really leading. Toast has to lose his match, and Pete also has to win his match. For the other matches last week, the Chaotic Predatory bullied the Intellectual Chaos. So, Chorfs better than Chaos. Not too surprising. Like, the
Mm,
Chorfs took the damage, but in the end, it didn't matter. They just won. So who cares?
Yep.
3-0,
Yeah.
easy win.
A win is a win, and it's putting you in promotion position. No,
Yep.
no way to fight for the playoff spot, but still, it honor is honor.
Yep. He did
Let's have a look at
lose.
this team.
I believe he lost like
Mm,
a Chof, possibly with skills. Definitely lost a Chof.
yes, this is
Maybe a
new one.
Hobgoblin as well.
And he has a Nigel Hobgoblin with kick. Interesting. Interesting.
Might be planning
Interesting.
to replace that when he has.
Yeah, I mean, I would automatically replace him unless he would have 30 player. But boo,
I mean,
boo,
kick is
boo.
like dirty player. It makes your kicks better, and like dirty player makes your kicks better. Just different
Mhm.
types of kicks.
Yeah, but that's not the kick we like.
Oh, fair enough. Uh, for the intellectual chaos, they did suffer the defeat, but they are
Ooh,
looking.
intellectual chaos is starting to look very nice. What a shame that
Ooh,
he's
that's a
the
big
ball
injury
carrier.
though.
Yes, yeah, that's a shame.
Like you have to keep him because movement 8 is so insane on
No,
chaos.
no. I was chatting with in Discord with him, and he said that he didn't want him anymore, and I understand that because it's basically broken, not dead, but broken. And he was planning on putting him into the market. And
Ooh,
I was
no.
thinking, okay, would I pick it because it's movement 8 dodge,
I mean, he's a
close to
fun
leveling?
player.
It's a fun player, but it's armor it's broken. I
Yeah,
mean, and I
it's a
still I have enough broken toys in my team,
yeah.
so
It's a big
no.
question if the market will actually take him because the market is not a big fan of injured players. They like healthy
Yeah,
players.
that's what I mentioned, but apparently it's kind of allowed. It's
Uh,
happened in the past.
it happened in
I
the
know.
past in some rare cases. We have had players that were refused, especially with bad injuries like minus armor, that made them a lot less reliable. So it's up
Well,
to
at least
metal, really.
it's not minus movement. That would be sheer
Yeah,
bloat.
like minus movement would definitely make him not work.
Mm.
But possibly, like I'm not sure what metal would decide on that because that's a
Mm.
big injury.
Still, let's wait a second. We have a one season old team, and we already have a level 5 Chaos
Yeah,
Warrior.
they just like went mighty blow claw, piling on as soon as they can, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
beastman, the level 5.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit, bah,
It's not
of
as
course.
impressive when it's a beastman.
No, it's quite a standard. I mean, I would have taken tackle instead of piling on, but
Yeah, but
well.
you never would have taken filing on, so
I mean, I like Mato. He's a cool guy. It's fun playing against him, but his build is so predictable.
he likes like that. The issue with going all kill is that when kills doesn't work, and sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't work, especially against pesky rats,
Mm.
you just lose. Like
You need,
you just straight up lose. You don't have any option because you don't
yeah, you
have
need
good
more
pitch
tools. Yeah.
controlling tools except killing.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you need some more flexible pieces, some tackle, some more guard, some tail or whatever.
Yeah, diving tackle
Tentacles.
maybe.
I cannot. Yeah, if possible, yes. I cannot advise for tentacles because tentacles do not work.
I mean, because diving tackle does.
Much better than tentacles in my experience. I can say. What a disaster, man! What a disaster. Okay, but this team is scary. The problem is that next season he's going to face also scary teams, possibly. And if he loses one of his kill pieces, then he will be in the back foot because he basically has no response to anything else that is not face to face battering
Yeah.
nonsense.
Like even against orcs, if they have enough guard, it's going to be tough to actually
No,
get
against
those hits.
orcs, they if they outguard you, you have a problem.
Yeah, like it's tough to beat orcs when you are like
Yeah,
one guard
yeah,
to 5,
yeah.
or like Kemri and they just like you just literally cannot get blocks. And against elves you have 0 tackle, so good luck with that. You need
Yeah,
like
you
good
have to
dice.
roll pause. You have to roll pause. That's the trick. And great
And
rerolls,
like
and then put the body in.
sometimes Claw Mighty Blow will bail you out, but a lot of games you will just sit there, like getting one hit a turn, and like oh it's a stun,
Yeah,
hooray!
it's a gamble. To be honest, I would have gone mighty blow tackle maybe.
Yeah,
One,
I would like
yeah,
to see like one tackle at this point on the
or at
team.
least a wrestler. A wrestler is always
Yeah,
nice because it's kind of flexible when it comes to sacking.
yeah, it gives you a bit more power against elves as well. Like you can deal with a blodger if needed at least.
Hmm Yeah, yeah. I
I
like a wrestle tackle player.
I wouldn't have hated like a frenzy guy as well, because frenzy is
Also,
fun.
yeah, and Francis also the poor man's tackle.
Yep.
So it's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still, team is has done well. How's he placed in the table?
Uh, his record for the total season is 5-5, so not amazing.
5-5, not
That's like
amazing, not bad.
mid-table probably.
Alright. Better than mine for sure.
And that's not that hard to reach.
No, not really. Yeah, that's true.
On the next match, we had the Sci-Fi Sorry drawing. Very surprisingly, Dreamify's House Fairy Ball.
Yes.
I've seen like bits of this match live, and it was a very weird match. Cause like
I missed it.
I'm
I
pretty
missed it, but I
sure
should.
like Dreamify scored on the Lizards half. The Lizards scored on Dreamify half, but Dreamify
Oh.
had a few turns to actually like win it, but he flopped some important dice, so it went to a draw, which was a bit weird. Like the Lizards brought some damage, but like he induced Slibly, and Slibly got KO'd like super early into the first half,
Ah.
which was as usual.
Stupid Sleevely.
Stupid Slibly.
But both MVPs are very good. That's
Yeah,
nice.
good MVPs for both teams.
Mm.
Not a lot of SVP
Oh.
overall, like 8 and
Oh.
8.
What? Disaster.
Yeah.
No cash, no passes, no
Nope.
nothing. Only TT and MVP. Okay. Okay. What can I say? It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, quick look at both teams. How are the Lizardmen looking? They didn't really
Yeah,
change from last week. I believe the
but
sidestep on the ball carrier is on the
yeah,
movement line is
they are
clean.
looking nice. One Saurus is one cast away from leveling. No, two sorry, one cast away from leveling, and then another is one MVP. Or yeah, it's nice, looking nice, and also one touchdown for John Brunner gives him block too. It's kind of nice, and they have two bench, which is also good. No, one bench
One
only. Sorry,
bench.
I can't
Yeah,
count.
like block on nearly all the Saurus is really nice. Also starting to get those level 2 Saurus. Like level 3 Saurus
Mhm,
is nice. He's pretty close.
mhm. I'm not an expert in playing Lizardmen. What do you give them when they level? Guard.
Lots of guard. Like yeah, guard. Like you probably want like one tackle just to have
Mm.
tackle, and like
Mhm.
lots of guard because guard is so strong. Because when you have like
Mhm.
strength 4 and guard, like people cannot touch you.
Yeah. 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 That I know. So very nice.
Yeah,
The Croxigore is good. If nothing special, but yeah, the team is for me is scary.
yeah,
I wouldn't
it's a
like to play
solid
against
team.
them.
Like
Yeah,
lizards
yeah,
don't need anything fancy to be very strong. Just consistent Soros is all you need.
yeah. And then die to club, but well, it
So
happens.
yeah,
I like.
on the other side of that match, we had Dreamify. Like, this is
The
just plain.
super bloody team,
This is just
yes,
like
2 million,
rude.
one
That's
season.
more
Suck
expensive
this.
than my team, and my team
It's
is
it's awesome.
like 100 years old.
You know
That's
how you call this? You embrace the bloat.
I mean, like Metal has less
Wow.
players than that now.
Oh. Couple of plays are broken, but he doesn't care apparently.
Yep.
It's nice. So what do we have in here? A lot of dodge, blotch, plus movement, niggled.
Ugh.
Up and coming. Why didn't I get to play them? And then Verdolun, the Blitzer. The Blitzer is very nice.
Yeah,
The
the two
Blitzer is
blitzers are
very
nice.
nice.
I'm
And
not
the other,
100% sure about strip ball on blitzers. I usually prefer getting like a wrestle strip catcher with leap,
mm,
cause leap.
in first season, many of the teams we are playing did not have or do not have sure hands.
Yeah, but like you cannot only build for the first season, because eventually there will be season 2 and season
Well,
3.
it's only 20k, and it
Yeah,
forces
but
your opponent
that's
to carry on the carrier.
I mean, it's
So
not really only 20k, because that's a skill you have to stick with forever. If this player reaches like
oh,
level 4, then he'll have strip ball instead of maybe tackle. Because if you take like tackle or diving tackle, then you have sidestep diving tackle, which is really
well,
annoying.
strip ball is a skill that I like to see in low strength players, such as gutter runners or goblins and
I
the
mean,
like. Because you
like
can
it's
upheal
really
it.
nice when you like leap into a cage, and it's generally annoying. Like it makes you a bit more consistent for ball sacks. So I like
Mm.
giving it to like a catcher, give him like wrestle, like dodge, wrestle, three ball tackle, and leap. And then he like even if it's a guard cage, just go in, take the ball, someone else picks it up.
Can't say, can't say. For me, it's situational.
Yeah.
I don't dislike having a street bowler in this team, although it's not, of course, my favorite. But I mean, I'm not precisely the guy who's building the most TB effective guy in the Rebel, so I like this madness from DMI5. I mean, all 16 players. Yes, come on. I have a bench. I'm going to field 11 players every drive, or almost every drive, unless I'm really decimated. That's cool. Because fighting against elves when you don't outnumber them is really hard.
Yeah, but like the issue when you're so expensive is people will have wizards against you, and they can get
Mm.
bribes to just foul the important players. Because if you lose your two blitzers and your skilled catchers, like the team is still
Yeah,
weak. Like
at this point, the first thing I pick when I play this team is
it's like the Nigel.
no, it's a halfling master chef,
Yeah.
and then
I mean, he has
shenanigans.
4 rerolls, so it's not that amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to steal the rerolls from them because they
Yeah.
are only strength three guys.
But like something like a chainsaw with bribes is like
Well, chainsaw,
just like
bribes, whatever, dirty
you can
player.
just
Yeah.
mow down a horde of elves.
Hmm. I like that.
Yeah, like there is issues with this build because like the pro elf linemen are nice, but they're not amazing. Like 6'3", 4'7", it's good because it's an elf, but compared to other elves, it's a bit lacking. And like if you only play with like pro elf linemen, you're probably not going to win. So if you lose like two catchers, two blitzers, to lots of foul, and the wizard,
Yeah,
it's
well,
still
if
going
you
to be a
lose the
tough match.
positionals, this team is condemned. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. It's 80k for an excellent mid shield, right? I mean,
Well, the
it has
thing is,
agility
your
4 and
elves,
dodge.
you cannot like protect all of your important players forever because then they like
Exactly.
don't take the ball.
Then you use this. You
But
use this once.
okay, but like eventually you want to go for the ball. Your elves, you don't win by like 2-1 grinding, because
No, it's screening. You win by defending yourself, not getting scored, and then scoring in your drive.
that
I mean, River
like
has
elves don't
won
do
many
that.
times 2-1 or 1-0 this way.
Uh, I mean he has 2-1 victories, but that's it.
No, this
Three.
team is crazy. This team is crazy.
I mean, like this team is crazy, but in general, like elves like to be much more aggressive, and like you don't do the dark elf game plan as well as dark elves as pro elves, because you have a lot more fragile positionals, and you have a lot less skills on those positionals. You have speed instead of skills, which is
Yeah, but
good,
he has
but it's bad when
four
you
catchers, four bloody catchers in
yeah.
this team.
So you're fast, but you don't have like the skills, because like dark elves would have 4 blitzers and 2 witches, which is a lot more skills than 4 catchers, two
He
blitzers.
has he has two throwers. This is so
I'm
crazy.
not sure why the two throwers.
Because of the blood. Embrace the blood.
Yeah, like as Cthulhu Collector said, like the wizard was the reason why he scored, and that made it a draw. Like the inducement, not always good. Like against a team that can use that inducement, you're not happy to give them a wizard every time and other tools.
No.
I don't know. I prefer
Interesting.
to build my elf
Interesting.
teams tall and not wide, because elves do well when you have a few superstars that just ignore how the game works. But like you just don't go with like lots of players, and eventually we'll get through, because like orcs do consistency better. Because if you don't have like a leap and stuff like that, a cage full of guard will forever protect the ball, and like you can try to stall them, but it's not easy, especially when they have the tackle.
No, I tried to fight against them and I simply couldn't. But that was before Chloe McClaw found the way to kill people.
Well, for the next match, I believe it was your match, so you can start talking about your match, Vikingkop.
My match was silly, silly to no end. I mean, as I promised, I picked up a dirty player and one bribe, and then I invested like 30k of my own cash to another bribe. So okay, say okay, I have two bribes, a dirty player induced let's go fouling, 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 and hope that something happens. Okay, so I won the toss. I decided to attack. Yes, I don't even have 10 players, 11 players, sorry. Um, and then the elves got a blitz. Okay,
Ow.
turn one blitz, and it was okay. Yeah, not the best moment to get the blitz. The kick was very very deep, was almost in the end zone. So I he moved his players forwards, hit me with a blitz, blah 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 blah, and then he went for a go for it with his last player, a catcher who failed it, did not reroll, injured himself. Okay, said yes, first removal, turn zero. He made it himself. No abo, badly hard. Okay, one catcher less. So let's get things doing. So I brought down the player with my blitz, and then I put tentacles in a couple of his players. I surrounded the catcher that I brought down with a couple of beastmen, and I went for the foul. Okay, then the dirty player broke armor, produced a stun, but got sent off. So I had to burn one bribe, which did not work. So I had to burn the other. So turn one, stun, bribes are gone. I said, okay, not the best start. Let's pick the ball. So I sent Warren, that is my pretended ball carrier for the ball, and he won in 90.
Feels
Okay,
bad.
feels very bad because he's done this like too many times lately. And then he just moves his players that were in my field, and then blitzes Warren out of the ball and picks it up, and then scores. Just 2+2+2+2+, and scores 1-0 in my turn one. Okay, let's see. How can I do this? I need to tie before halftime. Okay, so I set up again to attack and another blitz.
Correct.
And I say, okay, I've seen this before in like turn one. So basically, he does the same. This time the ball is not so deep; it's more in the middle of the pitch. But he gets to punch one of my beastmen, break armor. I know armor breaks were kind of insane against me this game, but whatever. And then he picks up the ball with a catcher who just places himself below the ball when it's falling, and he catches it because it's a 2+ with a reroll or 3+ with a reroll, I don't know, whatever. And then I try to place him down with suction Sullivan, and he fails with a reroll, so 4 dice to no pow because of course he was a blodger, and said, okay, at least I have tentacles on him, but next turn he's positioning his players in a way that he gets a 2 die against Suction Sullivan, and he punches him down and he KOs him. Very nice. And then he scores again. So it's turn two, I'm 2-0 down. I said, okay, I have to do something. Let's hope for a good KO roll. No, the KO roll is not good. My tentacles guard block guy, basically the best player on the team, is out. So I need to try something, but eventually that something doesn't work. He sacks me. He pushes one of my players onto the ball. The scatters are stupidly good for him, and then he's a good position to pick up the ball, make a pass, and score again. 3-0 end of the first half. And I said, okay, game
Uh,
over. Let's kill some elves, right? So, so next, by that moment, I had managed to make one single casualty, 1k or something. It's very poor, something very poor, or maybe two casualties. I think one casualty only. Then I have to defend for the next half. So beginning of second half, I got to defend. I put my players on the line, and they are brought down, and one rookie beastman is killed, punk straight away.
feels
And
bad.
I say, okay, do I spend the apple on him? It's an 5 SPP um, goat, but still is a rookie. And I say, okay, if I spend the apple in him and then I lose a water, I'm going to I don't know, beat my head against the wall for like 10 minutes, and I don't like that. So I assume that I've lost another player, and I think that this is the ninth or the ninth play. Can you check my team?
Yes.
Can you check the stats?
Just that. 9 dead.
Yes, so far 9 deaths sustained in
Rookie
this season.
numbers. Harrington had like 17.
I know, but Harrison was playing halflings, man. You know, halflings. I'm playing chaos. This is not supposed to happen. Well, whatever. So I had to defend like with 10 players, something like that. 10, 9, I don't know. And then Chloe, I decided, okay, Chloe, you're the man. Yeah, you're on duty, on killing duty. And he starts killing things. It's fun. I kind of bring down one of his players, foul him down. I start fouling. I have no bribes. I don't care. I have a dirty player, mercenary that I'm going to use. And he starts putting the boot or the hoof or whatever he has in the legs on the head and on the balls of every elf that is in the ground. And eventually, I am able to remove half of his team. So Chloe got 3 casualties that game. Another Beastman, I think, got another. And after some crazy plays from his side, I think he made 8 passes this game, just to make you a picture of how
Yeah,
was the
I saw the
farming.
statistics. They were
Yes, they
silly.
were silly because he was just keeping two
Like,
catchers in the backfield and making passes between them. I was feeling like, okay, I'm not winning this. You are farming me, but I'm going to make a dent somehow in your team. But every casualty I made was badly hurt, so no perms. I mean, the biggest thing I did was injuring with, of course, with a foul, his best blitzer, the one with Blood's tackle,
this.
and giving him a miss next game.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah, well, yes, but I've lost a goat, another goat, and 3-0 because of 2 blitzes. It was kind of okay, no way. So eventually, I was able to sack him and pick the ball and score and just make it 3-1 and be happy with it. I didn't roll enough cash to get another Chaos Warrior because I'm 10k short, stupidly. But I got to level
I got,
one player.
well, two. You got to level Chloe McCloy as well
Ah,
for
yeah,
the
I got
for the
Chloe because
very
Chloe
very
was was
fun
was killing.
skill of block.
Ah, come on! I need block because next one will be fun. I promise you.
The
I
most
already have.
fun skill, tackle.
No, 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 no. Tackle. No, Chloe is not going to have tackle. I think. But then I
The
leveled
most fun
Chloe.
skill, guard.
No, neither. So Chloe leveled and I said, okay, he needs block because he's the guy which I'm going to use every time to try to kill something. And then Distorted Diana said, okay, if she's not getting anything special, I'm giving her tail because I promised to try to get a tail goat. But then she rolled plus agility, and I
Should
said,
have
okay, no.
taken tail anyway.
I think I'm giving her wrestle as next skill, and I'm going to give her next 2 heads. I'm going to make a crazy, crazy, crazy sucker. If she
That's
survives,
fair.
of course, because this team.
Hmm.
Aye. Yeah, and War in the Warp has disappointed me so far, so much so far. So, but I need to keep them. I mean, stats are the core of my idea with this team. Stats and mutations and some crazy combinations. I can tell also that tentacles simply did not work this game.
Feels bad. I mean,
But
strength
okay.
4 tentacles is not as good as like strength 5.
No, of course, of course, of course, but it still has a ratio of success of 40%. 40%. I don't think that I was even half of that. I mean, even snotlings run away from these tentacles, and they need a 9 plus. I
I mean,
remember T running away from poor Sullivan.
I mean, it was close to the 42% failure, wasn't it? I mean, 6 out of 6. That's close.
6 out of 6. So meaning that tentacles worked never.
Never, yeah. Feels
Yeah,
bad.
good.
And
Thank you very much, Nathel. Big F for you. And yeah, well, that was it. But it was a good game. The Hiles played it nice, and they made their game, and so
and
they
they got
win.
blitzes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
For the last match of last week, we had the humans really bully T.
Oh yes. What
6
happened here?
injuries, 2 KOs, 3-0 for the humans, a lot of SVP for those humans. Like, a lot. Like, more than the elves got with 9
Tw-
passes.
26. That's a lot.
That's one more SVP than the elves, which is a bit
Oh,
silly. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
any damage on T's team? Oh, we did get
Yeah,
This guy
MNG, I think.
MNG. No, it's Nigel. Ooh.
Oh, well, he's an ogre. He's not going
Yeah,
away.
but that like when you
Yeah.
reach, like when you play Claw, that's gonna hurt a lot. And like he's so foulable, like that pylon. Do you pylon ever now with an eagle?
Yes. I mean, it's T. Are
It
you
is
really
T,
asking that?
but you shouldn't.
Well, I see that he's lost a lot of snotlings too.
Yeah,
But okay. Yeah, it
they
can't be that.
they will die eventually. For
Yeah.
the humans, that was a high SPP game. Uh, I see another thrower with another Agi up, which is pretty cool.
Uh,
Lots of Agi on these
Too
humans.
rough. This is going to be a pain in the ass next round.
Uh,
Because they got all the development they needed just before they got to play me again.
So yeah, next round. What do we have? We have first of all the big match, because that's the one that really decides if Toastguy goes to playoff or maybe Pete can sneak in taking it over. The Chaotic Predatory are against interdimensional bullshit. So the choice we saw earlier against Toastguy, I think this is a good match for Toastguy. Overall, he has the
I don't know.
bench.
He has the bench, he has the replayer, he has strength,
Yeah.
doesn't have that much card, but
But the Chofs don't have it
um,
either, and like when there's no guard, just pure strength is
I
what
don't see the
matters.
chorfs.
Well, you don't see either because it's waiting for answer from server. God knows why.
Mm,
I mean, you did see the Chofs earlier, but on paper, this is a match, especially at this point of development, when like Toastguy got a lot of development and the Chofs not as much. Should be a bit better for Toastguy anyway, and I would argue the matchup is good for him. Would be nice if Cyanide eventually let me play, like watch teams in the menu. I know it's like
where are the
intensive
chorfs?
on the servers.
Oops. That's your fault for trying to connect to internet in the desert.
I mean, no, that's probably Cyanide's fault. That is. Oh, now it works perfectly fine. Hooray!
Okay.
So yeah, he has
So,
two really good mummies. He like you cannot even red dice them when they have block. Uh, 13 players for the
yeah, they need.
Chorfs.
Oh, the blodge is about 2 SPPs from leveling also, eh?
Yes,
Ooh.
for the guard. The
Yeah,
Chorfs do
blodge
have a
guard.
blodger bull, but like 3 guard is good, going to matter. But like I feel like the mummies are still enough to outstrike this.
No, I think that yeah, this is as you said a good matchup for those guys.
Yeah, but I still expect a draw because Toastguy will know he only needs a draw, so he's very likely just going to play safe for a draw, which is boring, but that's how you get into playoffs
But
consistently.
that's how you get a playoff spot, man. That's how it happens.
Just like try to like receive, get your touchdown on turn 8 and just like stall it. Don't let like Tikaz quickly score. Just stall him out. Let him score on turn 16. You don't care. Just 1-1 it so you go to playoffs.
Yep. Yep. How the chores? Chores.
We just looked at them.
Yeah, sorry. I was distracted. So yeah.
Uh,
The next
Up
one is Chaos versus Dark Elves, one of my favorites. In
Mato
theory, I would
versus
say,
Pete.
yeah,
I mean,
the
this
Chaos are
has to be a
not in
win
a
for
good
Pete.
position.
Like this
Not
has to
in,
be a
no,
win for Pete if he wants any chance to qualify for playoff. But no tackle definitely helps because as we look, like he does, like Mato definitely has like mighty blow and a bit and like claw, and a few block as well. But there's no like sure hands. There's no dedicated ball carrier even. So like carrying on a rookie is not very good when there's like a strength 4 witch going at the ball, and there is just so much dodge. Pete will have one loner and one rookie, and those are the only 2 players without dodge, and only one, like 2 players, like 3 players will only have dodge and not block. So
yeah,
6 blodgers pretty much, 3 dodgers. That's gonna be a tough match because you're just gonna roll lots of pushes, and you need the damage to come in early and a lot to have a chance in this matchup.
you need to go fishing for powers.
Yep.
But yes, I think that it's a hard call for the Chaos guys, unless they roll some crazy stuff early in the game and remove like two, three, four pieces from Pete, and then he is really in trouble.
Yeah, and if Pete is looking to go to playoffs, he probably will play this very aggressively, trying to get that win for sure, to make sure that
Hmm.
if Toastguy does lose his match, he is going to get that spot.
Yeah, but that means that he needs to win by more than two touchdowns, I think.
I think if he wins by one, then it's really messy, and we go for like obscure,
Really?
like
I don't know.
like if
Let's
he
have a
wins
look at
by.
rebel.net. Rebel.net.
I
Rebel.net.
know like it's going to be
The
equal on
super
the TD
page
diff.
for Major Byte.
Like there will
Na,
be
na, na.
equal on TDs, and the head-to-head will be Pete 1-1 and Toastguy 1-1. So
AD
I
touchdown
believe.
differential. No, touchdown differential is indeed the same. They are plus. So if Toast loses by one touchdown and Pete wins by one touchdown, they are tied at
Yeah,
points
so it's going
and
to be
touchdown differential.
obscure tiebreakers because they
And which are the
one
next?
one
Which is the
one.
next
The next
tiebreaker?
one is
Head to
head to
head.
head, and it's 101. Like Pete one
Oh
one,
yes.
Toastguy
And
1-1.
then which is
I'm
the which
not
the next tiebreaker?
sure. At that point, like something went wrong. Obscure
Coolest
tiebreakers
coolest
going.
team name.
Whatever meta likes more stuff like at that point we get to the stupid
Okay,
tiebreakers.
then it's time for bribing
Yeah.
metal. Bribe the boss. Okay. So, but
Yes.
still, both are have really impressive numbers. 10 nil 2 to 11 nil 1. That's
Yes.
awesome. Is there a team that has won all his game? Not yet. Not
Not yet
yet.
in anywhere in Rebel.
Ooh, there's some escaping in 8B with no losses. And also we have Blissful Fire with Chaos with no losses in Division 7. Nice. Touchdown differential plus 20.
I mean, okay.
Plus 20 in a Chaos team? Let me have a look at this.
So Major Bite. Like the head-to-head
Oh,
right now
yes.
is Pete won before the Swiss. Those guy won during the Swiss. So technically the
They won
head-to-head is
this.
even between the two.
It is.
So
Everything is
yeah,
even. So, I don't know.
it's a bit weird unless we decide like one head-to-head matters more. It's a bit
We,
awkward.
we may have to play a friendly between brackets game between them as we had to do a few seasons ago. I remember that I had to fight for my
Yes,
first position in Gman 2 when I tied with it with some high elves.
that very much might be the
Yeah,
case.
curious. It's another game, so I'm happy with that.
Uh, that will be the third time they will be meeting on the pitch, so sounds like a fun one.
Mm.
After that, Chakwa Lions
Yep.
against the Sci-Fi. So the high elves that bullied
Ooh.
you are getting to face some lizards. It's going to be a bit tough for
I
the
was
lizards.
not bullied. I was robbed. It's different.
You
But
were
I'm
bullied.
I'm happy that the only dent or mini dent that I made to his team, so removing his tackle, was actually going to be useful
Yeah,
in this
you.
game against the Skinks.
No,
So okay, I did something.
yeah, but still lots of dodge on this team. Not as much as Dreamify. So maybe if the
He leveled
lizards need
another.
ones, like maybe if
Well,
the
there is a lot of dodge.
not as
There
like
is
Dreamify has like 12 dodge.
bloods, rods, wrestle no dodge, bloods, wrestle no dodge. Not so much. And I mean, there is a clear lack of block in this team. I
Just three
remember. Yeah, I
block.
remember this play. The throw is nice, but I was targeting him every turn basically because he has no block, and I was targeting him with Chloe McClaw, and Chloe McClaw sent him uh, badly hard to the bench. But yes, what can you do? You have to hit them every turn you can, and you have to base the Crocs against his players and hope for a 1 in 9. There's
Yeah.
no much more. Huh? No
Try to
much
force
more.
the dice from the elves. They don't have
Mm,
like I think they are less scary than Dreamify's teams, but he doesn't get inducement in
well, at least they
abundance.
are less, and that's something.
Yeah. So like damage matters more in this match, but you don't get like the wizard. The wizard was impactful for the last game, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a winnable game, but not an easy one. Elves and Skaven in particular are a tough match for lizards usually.
Yeah, because they have a lot.
Like they
ability
have
to
dodge, they can just run around you and
about
bully the skinks.
um
Like anything with lead really
anyways.
sucks.
Yeah, anyways, I think that the Lizards have a chance and they have a much more developed team than at the beginning of the season. They have block everywhere, so they will be just throwing dice every turn, basing the elves, forcing them to roll dice, and eventually the dice from the elves will fail, maybe, hopefully for the Lizards, and then they will be able to exploit the gap.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
plan. I mean, that's the plan. Still, the high elves are looking very nice. I played against them last game, as I said, and they are a hard team to beat if you don't have the tools to bring them down.
definitely. And next up, T is gonna get to play Dreamify, so a lot
Oh,
of inducements.
Dreamify!
Like T is
I
going to
think that
swim in inducements. Like this is maybe when like having so many players is bad, because T is going to get two ogres and all the rerolls he wants in the world. He can get like
now you're
ogres,
you're going
a
to get
chef,
two ogres,
Morgenthorg.
a Morgenthau.
Like you can just play with like, if you really want, you can get two ogres, Bertha and Morgenthorg. So you have eight ogres on the pitch, which is just stupid. Like having
I
eight
want to
ogres
see
on the pitch
this.
is
I
fun.
want to see this. I want to see this.
Like I don't know, I really like the idea of like eight ogres versus lots of elves. I mean,
And then a couple of Nogglers just for fouling.
yeah. Like the issue with that is like T has an Agi 3 ogre. If he can pick up on that ogre and just cage with ogres, what do? Like do you cage dive the ogres?
uh,
That's a
you
tough matchup.
scream them, and then you get based to death, to chomp death.
That's risky. Like eventually
Because
the ogres will pow
Big
you if you just
Willie is
base.
going to be piling on every turn against these elves.
Like
I
this
mean,
is so much inducement. It
last
might be
time they
too
played,
much.
it was a 5-0 for Remify, but I think that this time he's too bloaty not to feel some pain.
Yeah, like T
So I
definitely can
predict
get. Like
that there's going to be
Morgenthau is
some,
going to be big if he gets him, because block
yeah,
strength
what
6.
blog strength 6.
Yeah, like
I
he
mean,
gets
he
three
can
dice with
build
block.
three easy die. I mean, too easy, too easy.
This is going to be a very silly one with lots of ogres. I like 8 ogres on the pitch. Sounds like fun. Just like how do you go through that?
That's a game that I would like to see. So I will be I will tune myself into Dreamify's Twitch.
Yes, Dreamify of
And
course.
next week I'm on holiday, so I should be having some time.
So yeah,
So
maybe
this is so
ogres are
stupid.
the counter to being super bloaty because they get
Yes,
many ogres.
many kills.
Yeah, sounds like fun. For the last match, you are playing the humans
Ah,
from Jonah.
yeah. Well, I
So
have
what do you
Chloe
have?
and I have Suction Sullivan, and then I have a plus agility girl and sure hands, a non-sure hands guy, and that's it.
Oh, well, you have
Stevie is
the very
getting
fun skill of
hey
block and the very fun skill
boo
of sure
boo boo
hands
boo boo
and the
boo. A
very fun
guard that is
skill
a
of
very fun
wrestle.
skill.
I
My
mean,
plan is
guard is a
giving
fun skill.
Stevie spiky tail if he levels first before block and then block. And then I need to rebuy Onofre the one horn, and he will be having a disturbing presence because on the pitch he looks like flames pouring from his head, and that's nice. And then block too, and then we will see. But I'm building a castle out of air because my team just keeps dying. I know, I know.
It's because you
Ah,
give them block. If you
yeah,
gave
yeah.
them all
Actually,
fun skills, no one would have died.
I doubt that.
I
Maybe
mean,
even more players would have died, but yes. Losing a Chaos Warrior 2 games ago to a dead Apo dead was kind of silly.
because he had block.
Yeah, and 15 SPP, so he was only 1 SPP away from leveling and getting something funny like guard. But
Yeah.
yes,
The very
Nuffle
fun
said no.
skill, like guard.
Nuffle said no, so I have
Uh,
to accept that.
for the humans, they have like a bit of everything. They have the agility. They have a
They
little
have
like 4 guard, which is really nice. They have dauntless, mighty blow
they
kick,
have
which
a
is
very nice team. Very nice
funny.
team. Who has Dauntless? Okay, but at least not is not a mighty blow guy. So what can we do?
You will get
Oh,
some inducements, like
wait. You have a Bleacher with mighty blow and kick?
Don't question it.
Um, um,
He will question it.
boo.
I'm not a
Brr,
fan.
He missed maybe the icon
Yeah, but it might have
by
been
the
like
tackle
tackle.
one. Brr.
I'm not a
Okay, I'm
fan.
happy. I'm kind of happy with that. I can live with that. I approve. And then he has an ogre that is in danger of being removed. Just a
Or
warning.
killing all your team. One of the two.
Yeah. And then we have a catcher with leap.
And RG4,
Okay.
that can be a bit messy, because like if the ball drops, he can just like
No, no, no.
do
It's
nonsense.
it's not messy because it's Trenchu and I have Chloe McClaw with block
And he
and
is
Chromatic
Nigel.
blow. No. Yes, 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 yes. We have a prime target here. Oh yeah.
A couple like
And
there are a few like niggles here for you to exploit, which might be
how
fun
how
for you.
how much how many inducements I'm going to have?
With your loner like 250, I believe. 240.
250. 250. I can get Wizard Bribe.
That
Yeah.
was a bribe.
Okay. That kind of works. Ay, sad times, sad
Sometimes.
times.
So yeah, an interesting match. Humans are not as traditional. A lot of agi, which is going to be a bit annoying for you to deal with, I think. But if Chloe McClaw does the damage, you can still win this. But if he
Yeah.
doesn't and he like dies to something stupid, then you cry.
I am counting on him to get the job done because otherwise.
Clearly the most fun of players. Like when someone says like go for a fun build, this is the first thing I think
I
of. Like
mean,
claw,
I went
mighty
for
blow,
claw
block.
and then mighty blow and then block. It's not the usual order of things that you see
Like
in game.
I've never ever seen anyone take claw and then mighty blow. Like that's just a thing that never happens. Like no one ever does that. Like
You know,
never, like
that's true.
no one ever in the history of Blood Bowl took claw before my like that's not a thing that happens unless you play fun teams. And like at the top of fun
But
teams we have the
this
animal
is us.
farms from
Yeah, we
Sace.
have us. And then we have Mr. Frederick is missing next game. Boo, I don't like. Oh, he has a legend, two legend warriors. Oh, come on.
The
One of
most
them is
fun of teams, everyone.
standard, and the other is standard, and then this one is standard.
The most fun of teams, clearly.
Yeah,
Like
well, it's kind of good chaos. This one, I like this.
very
Very, very,
fun. Like when I
very
think
efficient.
of like playing
I like
casually
playing
for
this kind of
fun,
teams.
this is what I think of.
Maybe five guarders, lot of plus strength, claw mighty blow here. Yeah, I like this. I approve. They are winning the division, right?
Yes,
Really?
they're doing really well. Because they are a fun
Okay.
team and totally not
Be-
competitive and boring.
because they are a cost-effective team. Cost-effective, man. You can play that. You can win Gman with that. I did it.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to do it the hard way and it's not working.
Yeah, but the hard way by taking claw mighty blow.
I need some killing power. Otherwise, I start to play goblins or something like that. By the way,
Goblins like are super
I'm
killy. They
building
have a
a tabletop
chainsaw.
goblin team.
Goblins murder stuff with the chainsaw. Like when you give
No,
him,
goblins murdered themselves.
I don't see how that's not murdering stuff. Also, when you get like a dirty player chainsaw, like
That's so good.
that's
That's so
so
good.
brutal. Like you just murder stuff left and
I've,
right.
I've I'm building a team for a tabletop tournament I'm planning to attend to with goblins, and I'm allowed a number of doubles. So I'm having dirty player chainsaw, Hail Mary pass bomber,
Ooh, that's so much fun. I love Hail Mary Pass Bomber.
and I think it's a mighty blow fanatic, and then two trolls, one maybe with guard or stand firm, I'm not sure, and the other with block or I don't know. But it's the key is the Hail Mary pass and the dirty player.
Yeah, like Hail Mary Pass
These are
Bomber
the
is
team.
like a fireball every turn.
Yes, it's so much, but it's a fireball. It's not really a fireball because it needs a 4+ and has no mighty blow.
I mean,
But
it's a fireball. It
and
needs
it's
a
not
4
and it's not
plus.
accurate. But I was able to bring Jesus down with the bomb in the Superstar Surah last season,
That
and
was a
it was
fun
so
match.
much fun that I can't help myself. I have to do this.
So yeah, that was the week 12 recap. I believe this will be the last recap because next week is playoffs. I'm sorry for no Gman 1-2 recap today, but Viking Cop is at fault and you should like ping him on
Apologies, guy.
Discord saying really
Real
bad
life happened.
stuff about him.
Yeah, yep, yep,
You should
yep, yep,
totally
yep.
do that. That would be funny. Uh,
Okay.
Thank you, Viking Cop, for being here anyway, even though people are going to say nasty stuff to you on Discord.
Bah, I don't care.
And yeah, thank you everyone for watching this for the whole season, really. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun doing most of the weeks, at least. We tried. We really did. Viking Cop is mostly at fault here.
Yes.
So,
Oh, wait.
so yeah, I'm not sure which divisions will recap next season. Probably the top two still, and probably Viking Cop's Div. So
Yes.
if you are one of the lucky members of this division, or unlucky, that gets to stay in the Viking Cop's division, you're going to have some fun, because we will recap more, and you will hear lots of Cheetos eating sounds. So yeah, see you next season, or maybe in playoffs, because I assume Viking Cop might actually try to cast some, and I definitely will cast some. So yeah, thank you for watching.